Well. Good evening. I should say good morning, side friend. This is Mitty Man coming at you again from Walker's Music, and it's a word for the day, but more than likely to, in honor to my Lord and Savior, it is a fit word for the day. Not a morning motivation, even though it could be as such. It's not a summary of the walk through the word. But this is something in response to a question I've been asked. Ever since the election took place, primary presidential election took place, I've been asked a lot of things since then. I am just now ready to, after analyzing everything and looking into it from the right, left, in and out, I got something that I'm just going to say. Now, remember, people, Mitty Man, I'm neither for a Democrat, Republican, the elephant, or the jackass. I'm not for none of that. But I am for what is right. And since I was asked, I was trying to stay out of it. But I'm not afraid to speak the truth. But I was just trying to remain, just kind of stay out of it for a while and then just wait and see. There's a lot of craziness going on because of what happened in this recent election of the President of the United States. A lot of craziness. But now, I'm going to say this first. First of all, I'm going to say President Donald Trump. I'm going to respect him just as much as I respected President Barack Obama. I didn't call Barack or Obama, and neither I'm going to call President Trump Donald or Trump. I'm going to call him President Donald Trump or President Trump. Just like I respected Obama, just like I respected him, just like I respected Bush, even to Bush Jr.'s dad. I was in the military up under his dad. He was commander in chief when I was in the military. I respected him. I'm going to respect this president too. We got a lot. First of all, let me say this. All of you that are hollering and carrying on and striking out about this, something crooked went on in this election, and we saying, I don't know this now. This just my observation. We got a lot of people saying something crooked went on. Well, people, don't you remember, or have you forgotten? It was the same way during when President Barack Obama came in on the ticket. It was the same way when President George W. Bush Jr. came in on the ticket. When, guess what? If you remember correctly, it was a Democrat, always a Democrat, or Republican. Who was that running against George W. Bush Jr.? I bet you some of y'all don't even remember. But you remember what you said that happened. A lot of you said that it was something crooked went on in Florida. Remember that? Who was the president who was both running for president at that time? Wasn't it George W. Bush and Al Gore? And everybody said the same thing, that there was something crooked went on in Florida. Well, you know what? That's the same thing people are saying now about this. Something crooked went on because of the fact that President Donald Trump is in office. Well, you know what? I don't know whether nothing crooked went on in Florida or something crooked went on with the Russians. Mitty Man do not know. And I'm not going to get on here and say I do. I don't know nothing about that, but I do know one thing. All authority and power is given by God. Oh yeah. All authority and power is given and ordained by God. God said, I'll put one up and I'll take another one down. That's Jesus' word himself. So now, you can say and you can argue and you can cuss and you can fuss and everything and do all you want. That's not changing the fact that President Donald Trump is the one in the White House right now. Now I understand some of us we was crazy about President Obama, But President Obama's term is over. He done served his 2 terms. No man can serve more than 2 terms. That's according to the Constitution. So he have served his 2 terms, and now, and I'm quite sure President Obama is not no whimsy about being out of the office. I'm quite certain he might be glad to be out in that hot spot. But I'm letting you know, this is what Minuteman's concern is. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to judge the man, but I'm going to watch what he does. And that is my advice to everyone. Be careful how you fight against something unless you find yourself fighting against God. Amen. Remember, this is what Gamaliel told Saul before he became Paul. He said, Saul, apostle, leave these men alone. He said, don't you remember Judah? The one that came up thinking themselves to be something, and he said they had that uprising, and all of a sudden it came to nothing. He said, this thing called Christianity. If it don't be of God, if the same thing will happen to it, like those of Judah, they'll come to nothing. But if it is of God, you can't stop it. Lest you find yourself fighting against God. Paul of Tarsus, leave these men alone. That's what Minuteman had decided to do. To all of you who have asked the question, I have decided that I was going to leave it alone. Because I know that God takes one, he put one up, he takes another one down. And Jesus has said it himself. He told Pilate. He told Pilate to his face. He said, you will have no power over me unless it was given to you by my Father. In other words, letting us know that all authority and power come from God. And whoever God decides he want to put up, that's who he going to put up. So who's to know that President Trump has not come for such a time as this? We don't know everything, people. I know some of us think we do. And that's how come I say, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to watch it. And then my advice to everybody else is to do the same thing. Now, if this is, we got the Constitution still in play. The Constitution is still in play. If leaders do not do according to the Constitution of the land, by law, we know what we can do. Everybody talking about impeachment. Yes, you can. Presidents can be impeached according to the Constitution. But it's not going to happen unless it's got to be some sole good reason. It ain't going to be because of what Minuteman want or what you want. You got to go beyond that. But let me tell you something. Don't find yourself fighting against God, because you can't win. You can't win. So my take is, now this just what I'm not going to tell none of y'all what to do. I'm just speaking what I was asked, and I just spoke what I feel and what I believe, and you can't change it. And I don't care who don't like me because of what I said, because I ain't said nothing but the truth. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about no crooked stuff down in Florida. I don't know any crooked stuff down in Russia. I don't know if anybody rigged the voting system, and I don't know nothing about that. But I do know that President Donald Trump is the president. He's the president of the United States right now, even if it don't last but 2 months. He's still the president as of right now. And Minuteman just going to keep his hands to himself, keep his mouth off, because I don't want to be the one that fight and kicking against what God has ordained. I'm just saying that. Take it for what you will. That's Minuteman's take on it. Whatever you get into. If God is not in it, come out of it. God's going to come to nothing. Remember, people, who knows that we are living in a time such as this, just to see either a major turnaround for the United States or the destruction of the United States. Peace. Good night.